let's just get greasy. Let's get it. Let's go. What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Behind me, you will notice that I got 2017 Ford Flex. I'm about to do a major, not a major tune-up, but somewhat of a little tune-up, good sizable tune-up. It had a whole bunch of coils on it. So pretty much in an alley somewhere, just rolled up, parked up, about to smash this. But anyway, here's the coils that it had. Did a scan on it. So it's got a whole bunch of shit going on. So here we go. These are the ones that we're focusing on. We got a cylinder 2 misfire. We got a misfire on startup, bank 1 air fuel ratio imbalance, and air fuel also on the cylinder for that bank. So we know that these are general codes triggered by some possible causes. Now I'm just gonna give you the possible causes real quick right off top, so you don't have to really dive into those diagnoses. So pretty much when you got an imbalance in air fuel mixture, most likely you're gonna have a bad MAPT sensor, MAP sensor. It's a MAPT on this Ford engine because it is also an intake air temperature sensor integrated into one unit, MAP sensor / IAT. So this is one fault. You could also test the parameters. You could go do a resistance test. You could do all type of lab scope tests, but we're not gonna do that today. We're just gonna replace this, as we know it possibly could be faulty, as the engine has got quite a few miles on it. Let's see if I can figure out the miles here. What's the miles? Oh yeah, the engine's got 130,000 miles on it, so I'd say it's way past the service interval. Secondly, with the misfires, that's going to be triggered also by some failing spark plugs. Now the dealer recommends you do the spark plug maintenance service due at about 75 to 80,000 miles. This car's at 128,000 miles, so we're gonna service the spark plugs as well. It also has a failing ignition coil, which is one of these, but on that bank. This is bank 1 over here. This is bank 2 over here. Bank 1 is always closest to the firewall or the left side of the vehicle on Fords and certain other manufacturers. So we just went and picked up whatever parts we could from our local AutoZone, and so I've got the bank 1 O2 sensor. This is going to help with the rich lean fuel mixture, as well as picked up the spark plugs. I got the Autolite ones. And then we're gonna be changing out that ignition coil as well. And I got the motor crap. So you don't want to miss out on this content. I'm gonna show you how to do it real quick. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so we're doing the spark plugs. The first thing you want to do, we're gonna have to remove the intake manifold and everything connected to it, so it's gonna be quite a procedure. You want to use the EGR valve. This is the EVAP canister. It's a purge canister. I forgot what the right name for this is, but it's part of the EVAP system. Just disconnect all the wiring that's located right here to the intake manifold and stuff, and all the vent hoses, vacuum lines. Just make sure you just go ahead and disconnect those. As well as anytime you're working on the ignition system, charging system, or fuel system, go ahead and disconnect your battery negative. Okay, now that we got most of the electrical wiring, the water hose, all the sensor wiring disconnected, you don't want to kind of move anything too much. You don't have to. Make sure you disconnect the injectors on bank 2 as well as the ignition coils, because we're going to be taking out these as well, because this is the easier bank. Kind of left those for later, and I'm going to focus on removing the manifold. So when you got the airbox disconnected, you got the airbox moved, it's over there. Just make sure you put that aside. Then we're just gonna go ahead and remove these 8mm bolts right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I believe one more over here. Makes 7 right underneath this bracket. Let's go ahead and loosen that up real quick. There you go. And you can get access to that. So let's just take those out real fast. Also, right down in here, see if I can get there. Right down in there, there's that bolt. That's another 8mm bolt. It's on a bracket behind the manifold here. So you want to remove that. And to do so, you need an extension at an angle with a swivel to get that bolt. So let's just do that real quick. So I'm just gonna go through the side here at the throttle body with my swivel, 8mm and an extension, and just make sure you catch that bolt with a magnet or anything of the sort, because it will get away from you. It will. So just put a magnet on that bolt right here, and then you can just go ahead and take it out. So that's the trick, y'all. There's also 2 vacuum lines that you're gonna have to remove. Here's one of them. This one, I believe, goes to the brake booster, so you're gonna have to remove it. I recommend removing it from right here. And then there's another one located behind the manifold. I reckon this is probably the IMF. Not sure. Or the valve cover. I think it's the valve cover vent PCV. So just remove that. So when you pull the actual intake manifold forward, you'll get more clearance to, you know, access all that. And just like that, it's removed. So just go ahead and lift it up and out. Good time to replace the intake manifold gasket as well. If it's deteriorated, you will know. So just set it off to the side. And now you can see we have gained access to whatever is going on in the back. So just make sure you cover up this intake manifold plenum with something so no dirt or debris can fall in there. And those valves look really, really clean. Put some light on that. And those valves look good. Yeah, considering the miles on this car, I'd say, yeah, those valves, oh yeah, look at that. Those valves look good down in there, huh? Yeah, look at that. Not too much carbon buildup. Say this is very well kept. Yeah, look down in there. Very well kept. Anyway, yeah, let's just proceed. Now we're gonna disconnect the ignition coils and the injectors from back here. Actually, we don't even have to disconnect the injectors. We're just gonna leave the injectors. All we're gonna focus on is the ignition coils. That way we can get to the spark plugs. Also, it seems like we could get to bank 1 O2 sensor right here. So that's a plus too. So we don't really have to go too much underneath the car. So let's just knock out these plugs real quick. Now you can see we have access to the spark plugs. So here's the back bank, or the number 1 bank. We got all those. So now we're gonna use our 5/8. It's a 5/8 spark plug removal socket. That's what we're gonna use to get them out. So one of the boots came off the number 1 ignition coil, and it's stuck in the cylinder head. So there's a special tool that I use to get that off. I am sponsored by Snap-on, so you're gonna see a lot of Snap-on equipment. Apologize if you're not, don't feel bad. All right. I actually do pay a lot of money for the equipment, so shout out my Snap-on rep. Anyway, you're gonna need this tool to be able to get those boots out. And this is how it works. You get it right down the middle, and it will slide right through the boot and over the spark plug, and you will be able to get it. But the trick is you gotta get it nice and centered. You shove it all the way down. Get it down in there and then just pull up on it. Simple as that. That's how the tool works. So if you ever get a boot that's stuck in the cylinder head, it's hard. It's gonna be hard if you get like even the pliers down there and try to snip at it. You run the risk of tearing up the boot, and it really won't come out after that. So you're gonna have a hard time. So trusty tool to have. There's the part number. Go on your Snap-on website. I'm sure other manufacturers probably make a tool like this, but you're gonna need one of this in this instance. Just a visual inspection. You can inspect that I lost a finger. Anywho, you can tell the burn marks here on the porcelain. You can tell that, you know, it's been burning fairly balanced. I'd say all the cylinders, because they all damn near look the same. Some's been burning a little bit hotter than some, you know what I mean? But considering the miles, it's got 128,000 miles. Last service, I guess, was probably like 60,000 miles. So we're already 60 on top of that. So possibly more, but yeah, it would be a good sign, especially if you start misfiring on one cylinder. It would be a good time to just go ahead and replace all the spark plugs as compared to just one. We do know that the bank 2 ignition coil is pretty much faulty. I got a fault for that, so I already have a replacement ignition coil on deck for number 2 cylinder, so I'm gonna do that. Secondly, we're just gonna go ahead and get all these spark plugs loaded up with some adhesive. I'm sorry, some anti-seize. So we're just gonna load up the threaded portion of the spark plug with a nice generous film of anti-seize, so they don't you know, seize up in the engine. So let's just get them in. For the spark plug replacement, I'm using the Autolite Iridium XP. These are OE spec, so, and also they're a lifetime warranty. So if they fail, we can always take them back to AutoZone and get some free spark plugs. That's always good, right? Anyway, here's the part number, XP5363 for your 2017 Ford Flex. When you're installing the plugs, make sure you torque them to 133 inch-pounds, okay? Inch-pounds, not foot-pounds. So dial it in on your torque wrench, 133 inch-pounds, or you can just snug it up with a ratchet, but I like precise measurements, so obviously I'm gonna stick to script. That's just me. So 2017 Ford Flex spark plug torque specs are 133 inch-pounds. There it is. All right, so let's just torque them up. And just like that, they are torqued. So let's just reinstall the ignition coils and then do everything in reverse pretty much. Intake manifold, vacuum lines, and so forth, so forth. Here's the new ignition coil I'm going to replace for the bank 2 cylinder. This is the part number, the Motorcraft one. It's DG563. That is the part number, so grab that. We're also gonna do bank 1 sensor 1 replacement, and luckily for us, it's right here at within arm's reach. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get the tool on there right after I disconnect the sensor from right there. Disconnect it right here, and then you can just go ahead and remove it. And here we have the old O2 sensor. So it looks like it's probably factory. Considering the miles, yeah, it's about that time. So we're like 70,000 miles. That's very rare that you'd want to change an O2 sensor, but it's like at 130 right now. So we're just gonna go ahead and skip the whole testing procedure and stuff like that. We got a fault code for it, so we're just gonna replace it. We have it on hand, so why not? This is what it looks like. Let's get the replacement part. It's gonna be a NGK. And the part number is going to be 27014. Oh, it's NTK. Sorry. Whoops. Oh, it was an NGK. Nicely packaged. Like that. Like that a lot. Compare it, however, to make sure that it's the right size on the loom and everything. When you're getting O2 sensors, you want to make sure that you got the right information, because what happens is some of them are for bank 1 and some of them are bank 2. So if you get a bank 2 sensor, the sensor is going to be the same, but the problem is the electrical harness is not. It's going to be either shorter or longer. So say we had a bank 2 sensor, a bank 1 sensor 2 code, then it would be the sensor after the catalytic converter, which would then mean that the actual wire harness would have to be longer. So be careful when you're getting these. Make sure you got your proper code specific data, and it's already greased up. I said data right there. Data. Get some daters, know what I mean? Anyway, we're just gonna slam this in real quick and then go from there. Intake manifold bolts, which are these here, we're going to be torquing them to 89 inch-pounds. So if you can see that, 89 inch-pounds is what they get, and they get a sequence. So you start from over here, over there, there, so it's not like a crisscross pattern. Start from here, number 1, I guess, and 2. Oh, 3 was over here. 3. 4th. That one. Decided. Yeah, you don't want to go crazy on these bolts, because you snap them, it's gonna be a good day for you, trust me. So it's always best to proceed with caution and just follow the steps. It's not that hard. Save yourself some time and money. All right, let's just go ahead and reconnect the air cleaner, and then see if I can reset the codes and stuff. Put in these 2 cam sensors. right here. All right, let's just do that. Purring like a kitty. No more misfire, no more hesitation. So yeah, sounds really good. I'm gonna go do a post scan to see if all my systems, I know this needs an oil change, but I think the customer is gonna do all that. So I'm gonna go to code scan and hold on, okay, post scan. I'm gonna turn the engine off, cycle to run, continue. I'm gonna see what comes back up. And make sure all the systems are good. If it does pick up any faults, it would alert me right now because I just had it running for a little bit with the scan tool hooked up still. And it seems like all the systems are go. We have no codes. So we just got some hard codes. I think these are generated, the permanent codes are going to be generated by that MAF sensor. We did not replace the MAF sensor per the customer's request, so pretty sure we're going to need to address that MAF sensor. We just did the O2 sensor, so I'm guessing, well, I know that the other side, the MAF calibration is probably out of whack, and we need to set that up too. So replace the MAF sensor should eliminate these hard codes, permanent codes right there. But nonetheless, we could get by. So that's that. If you liked the video, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Please like and share. I really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. And as per usual, stay wrenching, stay greasy. You know the vibe. Peace.